Hello, we are not your mum. This week is Dying Matters Awareness Week. It's designed to get people talking about death and dying and bereavement. Death is part of life, and the more that we talk about it, the less scary it should become.
But Nell and I have both lost people very close to us in the last couple of years. I lost my lovely friend to cancer, and Nell lost her sister also to cancer. We have a video all about cancer, cruel disease that it is, if you are worried about it or just want to find out more.
Life starts with birth and ends with death. But the journey from one to the other is not the same for anyone. Some people will die when they're super old, others will die when they're young. All the ages are covered.
All the ages are covered.
Doesn't discriminate.
No.
Some people will get ill and others will be fine right up until the minute that they die.
Drawing from our own experiences, which is obviously all that we can do really, my friend was ill for 13 years before she died. She was diagnosed when she was 33 and she died when she was 46. And she lived for 5 years after she knew that her cancer was terminal. In fact, she was still at work 6 weeks before she died.
Whereas my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer, had treatment for that and was seemingly fine, and then was diagnosed again with terminal cancer 3 years after her initial diagnosis, and she died 3 months after that. So as you can see, there is no cut and dry way of illnesses sort of taking hold, really.
No, everyone reacts differently to the things that life throws at them, basically, and sometimes it is out of your hands. There is no right way to die, there's no formula. The only thing we can do is be open and talk about it. Just make it normal. Talk about how we feel if someone we know has died, or even if someone we don't know has died, but it's kind of made you freak out a bit. Or if someone is dying, talk about it. Even maybe talk to them. Talk to people who are bereaved, and don't kind of shy away from talking or think it will upset them. Just, kind of keep the lines of communication open.
Talking about someone who has died, remembering the good times and reminiscing about things that memories that you shared and the kind of person they were, keeps them alive in our hearts and minds. And that's a good thing. If someone doesn't want to talk, then it will be quite clear, so just don't push them.
So what actually happens when someone has died? After someone dies, they don't move or eat or breathe or do anything. They cannot feel pain and they will never wake up. And there are loads of different beliefs about what happens after you've died. Is there an afterlife or not? And if there is an afterlife, what form does it take?
Well, we can't answer that. That's just one of life's unknowns. Mm-hmm. What faith you are will usually determine what kind of afterlife you believe in. For me, as an atheist, I don't believe that there is an afterlife. Which I think some people find quite hard to understand, especially knowing that I've lost my sister. But not thinking that she's up there looking down on me doesn't affect me in a negative way, because she's still with me every day anyway. I still think about her and I still imagine her telling me off for things, or, I can hear her voice. So just because I don't think she's in heaven or whatever doing it, it's not any less comforting.
Lots of people are scared of dying, that's completely normal. I find a good way to think about it is to consider the following. So firstly, you weren't alive for a gajabillion of years before you were born, and that was okay. So that stands to reason that it'll be okay after. And also I think it helps if you don't think of death as like nothing forever. Think of it as a full stop on a really brilliant book, like the last page of a book. The book might end before you want it to, but the story is still there forever. And also, our mortality hopefully makes us motivated. The fact that our life is finite, that it will end, means that we have a period of time to work with. We have one life, we owe it to ourselves to fill it. Work hard, love hard, play hard. Make your story unputdownable. Once
someone has died, there is usually a funeral, and what kind of funeral or when the funeral happens very much is to do with your culture, religion, things like that. If you want to know a little bit more about funerals, Ali did a lovely video.
It's actually a slightly weird video.
Slightly weird, but we won't go into that. But it's nice, it's just about
I'm basically
funerals.
lying down holding a phone. It's very strange, but It's about...
It was an emotional time.
It was an emotional time. It's about... I made it after my friend died and after I'd been to her funeral. So it's about one kind of funeral, but I guess the kind of same vibe covers quite a few different kinds.
So if you want to know more, you can watch that video.
Yes. Funerals are an important part of the grieving process, which is why it's important to talk about them, even if you're not dying, or even if someone you know isn't dying. We aren't saying that you've got to plan your funeral at the age of 11 or whatever, especially since your taste in music is bound to change. But talking to your family about what they would want is kind of a good thing to talk about, make it normal. You can talk about your favourite music, how you want people to remember you. It can be a kind of nice conversation, and also it will have the happy side effect of making things easier when they do die and when you have to start planning their funeral, because you will know exactly what they would have wanted and what would have made them happy and proud.
Then what? So you've done the funeral, you've said goodbye, then comes the bit where you have to adjust to life without them. Grief affects everyone differently. Some people cry, some people don't. Some people get angry, some people get sad.
Or all of it.
Or all of them, yeah. Sometimes all in the space of like half an hour. For some people, it might spur them on to go seize the day and go do all the things that they've always wanted to do. And for other people, it really might not. And they might just go back to how they lived before and be perfectly fine. Just because you don't have a big epiphany after somebody dies doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong and that you haven't learnt from their death. You haven't got some great message from it all. Sometimes things happen and they suck.
The most important thing to do is talk, and I know we said that already, but that's because it's true. There are people waiting to help you if you want some actual proper professional help. There are loads out there, and we'll put some links in the description. Things will get better. They will get more copable with, one day at a time.
Every time you have a blip and those horrendous feelings come back, just remember that you are one step closer to working through those feelings and working out how to live a good and happy life, even though the person that you love isn't there anymore.
That's it. Thank you for watching. This video is for Tessa and Denise. They rocked, and they still do. And if you have any comment, then leave it below, and we will see you next time. Bye.